Hello my loves, my name is Paige, this is Pages with the Page, and today we're going to be talking about my June TBR. This isn't my natural look, however for June the Not Safe for Workathon and the Make Your MythTaker Readathons are both happening throughout the entire month of June. So I've decided to encompass and be my MythTaker persona, and we're starting out our journey as a witch. So I'm going to talk through the prompts for Make Your MythTaker and the prompts that these books may or may not fill for Not Safe for Workathon, and then any extras I will talk about at the end. The first prompt to become a witch like myself is to have an animal companion, and what better way than to fill the Elderling along and read Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb. Now I do know I'm getting in early and I'm combining readathons, which are going to be a pain, but now was the month for me to read this in so I could stagger it out, and so we're gonna pick this one up. This fulfills the prompt of shit. Read a book that you think is going to be 5 stars and hope that it's the shit. So as for my Not Safe for Workathon TBR, I'm trying to have blue in the cover or in the book somewhere or another, and our beautiful dragon has some nice blue in it. So Assassin's Quest is following Fitz as he continues his journey after being recruited by the king to be the assassin for the royal court. So yeah, very excited to see how the story progresses. The second book ended in a way that was like, I have no idea where the story's going to go from here, and I'm very excited to see what happens. And I just hope that Fitz is going to be okay. He's one of my favorites, and he's slowly developing his powers to have animal companions, so I thought that it was perfectly fitting. The next prompt to become a witch is to read a book that has a foiled cover, and for that I decided to go with The World That We Knew by Alice Hoffman. This bird on the cover is extremely beautiful and foiled, and I have no idea what this is about. I've read Practical Magic and The Rules of Magic, both by Alice Hoffman, and I thought, why not just pick a random book that I've picked up and seen around, and so this is not fulfilling a Not Safe for Workathon prompt, although it is blue on the cover, so I could include it under one, but I have something else for that. The next prompt needs to feature a magical battle, and please let me know in the comments if this isn't quite right, but I've decided to go with A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second in the ACOTAR series, and I think I'm going to fall in love with this one. Who knows? This is following Feyre as she continues in the Fey realm. I don't know anything else about that apart from the fact that I'm probably going to fall in love with Rysand. Is that how you pronounce it? Again, I have no idea what I've got myself into. I just know that it's popular and I enjoy it. So this will be fulfilling a Not Safe for Workathon prompt of blue balls. Read a book that ends with a massive cliffhanger. So again, not sure, have been told that it is. Fingers crossed. The last and final prompt to become a witch is to read a book featuring occult themes, and there was no way that I was going to pass up the opportunity to read Witches of Ash and Rune by E. Latimer. I got this last month and I've been itching to read it. I'm so excited, and I think that this is going to be a really interesting witchy sort of read. I do know that it's following a bisexual main character and has OCD representation, so I'm curious to see how that is developed in the story. And this doesn't fulfill any prompts for Not Safe for Workathon. So for me, I had a bit of a story and a bit of a background. I was born a witch and an outcast in the forest surrounding the land. I had no one to talk to but my animal companion, which is Assassin's Quest. I grew and blossomed, and my magic started to shine through, which was a foiled cover. My talents started to get noticed by the royals, and they threw me into a magical battle to save the forest, and the kingdom sort of just went along with that. But when I was in this magical battle, which is Akamath, I realized that there are others like me, and so I wanted to study my people, and that's why I picked up Witches of Ash and Rune. But the thing is, even though I'm now a fully fledged witch, I still have the opportunity to grow, and the townspeople, they started to see me as more than human. So reading a book that has a non-human main character, I'm going to be reading Eragon by Christopher Bellini. I know that the protagonist is human to a degree, but he's also a dragon rider, and so I felt that that was a little bit more than human. They're not completely human, so to speak. And I don't know if we follow the perspective of Seraphina. I think we might also hear from the dragon, so that could also be a non-human main character. Eragon also fulfills the prompt of blue waffle, read a book with a blue cover. So this book is entirely blue. There is no getting out of that. So my powers have the potential to grow and continue to shine through. So again, I need to read another foiled cover. So this time I've gone with Murder Most Unladylike, which is unfortunately completely blue, but also not a Not Safe for Workathon prompt. And it is the middle grade monthly pick for June. So yeah, very excited to get to this. I know that it's middle grade, I know that it's fun and like a murder mystery sort of thing. So I'm curious to see how it goes. Now, there is the potential that my powers may get a little out of hand, and so I could unleash them onto the kingdom and rise to the top of the hierarchy, overthrowing the monarchy. Just maybe. Potential. Not sure yet. But to do that, I need to read my highest rated book, and at the moment, that was Aurora Burning by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. Now, this does have blue on it because this is also a book for Not Safe for Workathon, and that is Soggy Biscuit, read a book from multiple POVs. And I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but feel free to check your own copies. In Cal's eye, there is a tiny bit of blue, and I'm counting that. It does not need to be much blue, but there is blue on this cover. So yeah, that's fulfilling this. This is the second in the Aurora Rising series. I'm not sure where this is following on from, but I'm very excited to dive in. I will be buddy reading this with April and Cara in the first week, I think, of June. So very excited to get to this one. Now, if I just say perhaps I accidentally unleashed my powers and rose to the top of the monarchy, there could be a chance for me to go on a rampage and just kill all the townsfolk that have wronged me for outcasting me back in my witchy days. And to stop that from happening, we need a bit of a divine intervention. So we need to randomize my TBR. And having done a document of 426 books that are currently on my physical TBR, I did a random number generator, and of course, the one that came out was Atonement by Ian McEwan. I don't know how I feel about this. I want to be a goddess, so I'm going to read it, because that's what I have to do. I just know that a child makes mistakes, and it causes havoc for her family and their loved ones. This will also fulfill the prompt of Not Safe for Workathon for aftercare. Pair this with self-care. So I'm going to have a cup of tea, do some aftercare, whatever I want to do. And yeah, so that's going to fulfill that. There are a few Not Safe for Workathon prompts that I have covered, and there's one that I'm mood reading, I suppose. I haven't selected a book for it yet. But the other prompts that I have yet to complete. The prompt for edging is to start a book on day one, and you're not allowed to finish it until the last day. So for me, I'm going to be reading Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. I meant to read this last month and didn't. So my friend Jacqueline chose this for me. I'll leave a link to her Instagram below. It's JaxieJaxReads, and yeah, she's very excited. She said, if you haven't read Well of Ascension, read that one, and then if you read that before the end of May, then read Hero of Ages. So didn't quite get to Well of Ascension, so this is the one that I'm going to be reading, as well as Assassin's Quest. So Elderling Long, Cosmere Long, same month. Help. But the writing around the edge is blue, and also her robe. So yeah, keen to pick this up. Second in the Mistborn Final Empire series, and I'm really excited to see where Vin gets up to. I keep putting it off because I just have issues continuing series. So I really don't know where this is going to go. I'm just really excited for it. The next prompt I'm going to read is Porn, read an ebook, and that's going to be Learn My Lesson by Katie Roberts. This has quite the dark cover that's blue and fits the blue theme and is an ebook. I'm really excited to get to it. I loved Desperate Measures, the first one in this series, so I'm curious to see where this follows along. I know that it's involving Hades, Hercules and Meg in a poly relationship thing. It's smut, it's good, it's very not safe for work, so I'm keen. The next prompt is Quickie, read a book under 200 pages, so this will be a very quick read, and that's going to be Iron Lights by Felicity Banks. I'm currently 60 pages from the end of the second, Silver and Stone, so yeah, definitely will finish that by the end of May and be able to continue on. I'm really excited to read this. I am loving the second, and I forgot how awesome it was being back in the Gold Rush era in Australia and having it based where I know about and have been to some of the places that they mention. I find it interesting because it does talk about our Indigenous people, and I've learned so many things, and I feel really stupid for not knowing a lot of our history, but I'm glad that it is accessible through books that we choose to pick up. So I'm really curious to see how this ends with Felicity and Matilda. They're currently outlaws, living off the land, so yeah, my fingers are crossed that they are okay. And just a heads up, this series is gay and very blue cover, so cover that one nice. The final prompt that I have picked a book for is Lemon Stealing Hall. Read a book from an author that's new to you or has food on the cover. So I'm hitting both of those with The Fire and High by Elizabeth Acevedo. And I know this is following a teen mum whose passion is cooking and wanting to go on a school trip, I believe, overseas, and dealing with not being able to afford it, having a kid to look after, and just all the conflicts of having your highest priority be your kid, but also wanting to pursue your own passions, and you're young. Like, your life should be open to every opportunity available, but it's not. So yeah, I'm curious to see how the story unfolds and the choices that are made and how everything is resolved. And this has blue on her shirt. Also, with food on the cover, you could do underside or on the dust jacket itself, because this book is beautiful. The only not safe for workathon prompt that I haven't covered yet is deep throating. Read a book with hard to swallow topic matter. I do have quite a few books that I'm interested in reading that fulfill these prompts, but I just haven't picked one yet. Might be a bit of a secret. If I do decide, don't know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so the last book that I need to talk about is my buddy read with April and Cara outside of Aurora Burning. We'll be reading The Dark Vault by V. Schwab and reading the Archived in the second week of June, and then the Unbound in the fourth week. So we will be buddy reading a book every week except the third week of June. So I'm so excited to be able to actually buddy read a book with both of them. Normally they're like reading all these really cool different books that are new releases that I can't afford. So oh well, glad I get to join them with this. This was supposed to be my big book of last month, but I didn't get to it, and then they were like, we're gonna read it in June, and I'm like, okay, I'll just push it back, no worries. So yeah, this doesn't fulfill any MythTaker or not safe for workathon prompts. It's just an extra tome, because why would we be sensible? So this is the pile that I would like to get through in the month of June. Considering how May went, I'm not sure how we're gonna go, but I'm really excited to be a part of the Make Your MythTaker Readathon. I'm really excited that Ashleigh and Charlotte created the Make Your MythTaker Readathon. So MythTaker works as a monthly book club, and so they've extended and made it into such an amazing readathon, and I'm so happy to be able to make my MythTaker. I'll leave a link to both Ashleigh and Charlotte's YouTube accounts, and the Instagram and Twitter for MythTake, as well as the Twitter for Not Safe for Workathon, which was my creation that I did at the end of March. This is round 2 of Not Safe for Workathon, the blue theme. I'm having a blast making them. I don't even mind if people don't participate. I do it because I love being able to come up with weird and wacky things and just have fun. And have a bit of a laugh in these crazy times. I'm also going to be low-key participating in Detectathon, which is hosted by Mind of Mollie. So I'll leave a link to that below as well. I'm passively participating, so I need to go through and look at what the prompts are. I only really got to know Mollie and the Readathon after I'd made my TBR, so I need to get on that because Mollie is awesome and I want to support what she's doing as well. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe and join my bookish family. We're growing and I'm just so happy. I love being here. Thank you. And let me know in the comments below what readathons you're participating on and your shit book. What's the shit? What are you going to read that is a 5-star next month? And I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye! What is sanity? I don't fucking have it. Fuck words.